Everybody wants to be free. We dream of a world without money problems. Still, for a lot of people, money problems feel like a constant cloud. Even though we work hard and try to find more, real peace still seems far away. What if breaking out of this cycle doesn't involve endless chase, but a deep change inside? What if knowing a few timeless facts about our minds, our wants, and our power over them is the key to lasting wealth, both in terms of spirit and money? We are being asked to look inside ourselves, take back our power, and create a life full of real wealth. A lot of people think that getting huge amounts of money will automatically make them feel very peaceful inside. They are always trying to get rich because they think that once they hit a certain amount, all their problems will go away. They dream of a life without stress, full of happiness and satisfaction. But life often shows us a different truth. A lot of the time, we see very wealthy people who are very sad, always worried, or unable to stop wanting more. Their wealth on the outside doesn't mean they'll be calm on the inside. You can't buy real peace with money. It's not in the largest house or the fastest car. These outside things can make you feel better for a short time, but they don't give you a permanent sense of peace. The calm feeling comes from inside. It is a state of mind that can be developed by thinking about things and living in a purposeful way. The way we see our situations is important, not just the situations themselves. A person with few possessions who knows how to value what they have and live a simple life can often feel much more at peace than someone who is surrounded by wealth and stress. If you only care about getting money from other people, it can actually make you more stressed, competitive, and afraid of losing everything. It can put us on a hedonic treadmill, where each new thing we get only makes us happy for a short time before the desire for the next thing takes over. This never-ending loop makes it impossible to be truly happy. Imagine having a mind that doesn't always want more. Think of a spirit that adores small things. This freedom inside is a foundational value that is worth a lot more than any amount of money. It helps us make smart choices about money without being motivated by fear or greed. It gives us a steady hand when the economy goes up and down. When our peace comes from within, it stays with us no matter what the market does or how much money we have saved and how much we spend. This kind of personal wealth gives us strength. We feel calmer after reading it. It teaches us that real wealth is having enough and being happy with that, rather than always looking for more. It's about having a clear mind, a light heart, and a spirit that is happy with its journey rather than always getting more things that don't fill the deepest gaps. Our lives are often ruled by a never-ending stream of wants. We feel the need to have something new and shiny as soon as we see it. Ads cleverly feed these wants by telling us we need the newest tool, the coolest clothes, or the most expensive experiences to be truly happy or successful. This strong urge to want something all the time can become a master. It makes us spend money we don't have, work extra hours to keep up, and take on more debt. Our financial future is out of our hands when our wants take over. We become slaves to instant satisfaction, always looking for the next short-lived pleasure that leaves us empty and often poorer. Taking back control means mastering our wants. That doesn't mean denying ourselves all happiness or living a life of lack. Instead, it's about living on purpose and making choices that you are aware of. It means stopping before we spend and asking, do I really need this? Will this really add value to my life, or is it just another passing whim? This pause is very important because it separates emotion and action. We can make smart choices in that space. We can tell the difference between what we really need and what we want all the time. We can put our long-term goals ahead of short-term pleasures. Being able to control yourself is a strong skill. It gives us more money to spend. Along with that, it frees up mental energy that would have been used up by wanting more all the time. Imagine how you'd feel if you weren't moved by every new trend or ad that tried to convince you of something. Think about how peaceful it would be to make financial choices based on your ideals and long-term health, rather than on short-term wants or pressures from others. This skill gives you a deep sense of your own power. It helps us build a strong financial base on discipline and planning ahead. It keeps us from falling into the same old compare and buy habits that keep a lot of people stuck in a loop of making money and spending it without making any real progress. We are saying yes to a safer and more satisfying future when we learn to say no to our current urges. We stop letting our wants guide our decisions and become in charge of the ones we make. which keeps us from real financial freedom and inner peace. Making decisions every day with care improves our resolve and gives us lasting peace of mind. A lot of things happen to us in life and we can't always turn them around. The market can change without warning. The market can go up and down without notice. When other people do things, say things, or make choices, we have no power over them. It's normal for people to worry about these outside things, but it takes a huge toll on our energy and peace of mind. We can't do anything when we think about things we can't change. When we focus on things we can't change, we waste valuable mental and emotional energy. Focusing on the wrong things causes stress, anger, and a sense of helplessness, which keeps us from acting effectively where it really counts. Understanding this basic difference is the key to real freedom. We need to learn how to tell the difference between things we can manage and things we can't. Our own actions, thoughts, and decisions are the only things we can control. We decide how to respond to things that happen around us. We decide how hard we work. The choices we make about our time, money, and energy are up to us. This way of thinking is very freeing. It takes our focus off of pointless worries and on to doing something useful. We don't try to change the weather. Instead, we take care of our yard. Even though we place the seeds, water them, and try to keep them safe, we know that some things about the end result are out of our control. This focus gives us the strength to act with purpose. Because we know that our hard work is our duty, we give our work our all. We are very careful about how much we spend and save because we know that these choices will affect our financial future. We choose to have a strong attitude and face problems with confidence instead of hopelessness. This method takes away the heavy load of trying to control what can't be controlled. It makes us feel very peaceful because we're not working against the flow of events in the outside world. Instead, we're putting our energy into ourselves, which is where it can really make a difference. We build a strong base for our lives that isn't easily shaken by the unpredictable things that happen in the world around us when we constantly focus on our work and our choices. Knowing exactly what we can change turns our worries into goals we can work toward and gives us a steadying hand when things aren't going as planned. Society is always telling us that more is better. We are told to want the bigger house, the fancier car, the newest technology, and all sorts of other changes. This makes the goal of enough always changing. Just when we think we've hit a good level, a new standard comes along and makes us want to do even better. Because of this never-ending search, true happiness is always just around the corner. We can get a lot of things, but if our idea of what is enough is tied to other people's wants that keep growing, we will always feel like we are missing something. We are always chasing a finish line that keeps moving farther away, which takes our resources, time, and peace of mind. Being truly free means deciding for ourselves what enough means. It means figuring out what enough really means for a good, happy life. To do this, we need to be honest about what we need and what we want. Our needs are basic things like a place to live, food, clothes, medical care, safety, and maybe some connection and value in our lives. Aside from these basic needs, a lot of the things we seek are wants. Wants can make life more fun, but getting them mixed up with needs can cause a lot of stress and unhappy people. We gain a lot of understanding when we make it clear what is truly enough for us. After that, we can choose how much we spend and what we buy. We stop buying things because it's no longer necessary, because other people expect us to, or just because they're out there. This clarity cuts down on wasteful spending by a huge amount. It frees up money that can be used for reasons that are more important to us, like saving for the future, buying experiences, or giving to causes we care about. Figuring out what enough means to us lets us feel deeply blessed even when we have less. It changes our attention from always wanting more things to truly appreciating what we already have. It makes you happier and lessens the unquenchable desire that makes a lot of people feel poor all the time, no matter how much money they make. This unique way of defining sufficient is a strong act of self-sovereignty. You can no longer compare things. It makes you feel good in a quiet way. It frees us from the constant pressure to live up to outside standards of wealth and fame, lets us live a life that is in line with our values, and helps us build a strong financial future. We are constantly tempted by things that give us instant satisfaction in the modern world. Ads tell us that if we buy this thing right now, we'll be happy right away. With apps, it's easy to buy things, often with just one click. We feel like we need to try everything right away because of how luxurious people's lives look on social media. This constant need for now can cause a lot of money problems. It often leads us to buy things we don't need, take on more debt, and ignore our long-term financial security. We give up security for the moment in exchange for short-term pleasure, which leads to a cycle of short-term comfort followed by long-term worry and regret. Delaying gratification is a strong way to fight this trend. It means choosing to give up a prize right now in order to get a bigger, longer-lasting benefit later on. This isn't about going through pain or not enjoying anything. Instead, it's about making smart, planned decisions that set us up for success in the future. It means constantly saving money, even when you want to spend it right away. It means making smart investments and knowing that success takes time. It also includes learning new skills, going to school, or starting a business with the belief that the work you do today will pay off big tomorrow. You need to be disciplined, have a clear picture of your future, and be able to stick to this practice. You are putting money into your own freedom and well-being. This important habit gets stronger every time you choose to save instead of splurge, and every time you fight the urge to buy something on the spot to stick to your budget. All of these small things make you stronger and more resilient. It makes you more patient and more appreciative of the benefits that come from working hard over time. Achieving a big financial goal like paying off debt, buying a house, or saving for retirement is much more satisfying and lasts longer than the short-lived thrill of an impulse buy. Delaying gratification builds real financial security, lowers stress, and eventually leads to a fuller, more peaceful life based on well-thought-out choices rather than fleeting wants. Taking care of your future self is a real act of self-love. In today's connected world, what other people think about our money and things can put a lot of pressure on us. We see what other people have all the time, whether it's on TV, on social media, or just by watching our neighbors. For some of us, this can make us want to keep up with the Joneses, or show a level of success that may not match our actual financial situation. People may lose money out of fear of being judged, looking less successful, or not fitting in. In order to feel accepted or avoid what we think is social disapproval, we might buy expensive things we don't need, drive cars we can't really afford, or take trips that cost a lot of money. Always trying to get acceptance from other people is a heavy and expensive burden. A profound act of liberation is learning to not care about these outside views. It means realizing that what other people think about your stuff, or lack of stuff, is not your business. Your road with money is very personal. It shouldn't be based on the changing standards or demands of other people, but on your own values, goals, and idea of what makes a life worthwhile. You can stop spending a lot of money trying to impress people when you stop trying to do that. You don't feel like you have to buy things to show off your status or show how valuable you are. Your sense of self-worth stops being affected by how much money you have or what you just bought. This freedom lets people make real, honest choices. Instead of buying things just to keep up appearances, you can spend your money on things that make you happy and help you reach your goals. You don't have to feel bad about saving money, investing it, or living a simple life. This lack of interest builds a strong sense of self-confidence that can't be shaken. It lets you create a life that is truly yours, both in terms of money and feelings. People will always have an opinion, but it's not the truth for you. You can protect yourself from outside pressures by focusing on your own peace of mind, your own financial well-being, and your own ideas of what success means to you. This strength lets you go your own way, sure of the choices you make and free from the expensive pressures of social comparison. People often feel like they want more all the time. It's possible to feel like not enough even when we have a lot. Even if we have a nice home, a steady income, and loving relationships, we may still want the next big thing, the next accomplishment, or the next buy. This never-ending desire and constant sense of not having enough is a big reason why people are unhappy and stressed about money. We can't fully enjoy the good things that are already in our lives because of it. It keeps us wanting more and more. And even if we get everything we thought we wanted, ultimate happiness is always just out of reach. The constant need for more turns into a cycle that drains us mentally and financially. Being grateful is a strong way to fight this never-ending urge. It means being aware of and consciously enjoying what we already have instead of always focusing on what is missing. It's not about avoiding problems or acting like everything is fine. It's about changing how we see things so that we can see the big and small blessings in our daily lives. Every day, take a moment to think. Think about having a roof over your head, food on the table, good health, caring people in your life, or even the simple beauty of nature. Our thoughts start to change when we think about these gifts. We change our mood from one of lack to one of plenty. Our financial health is greatly improved by this act of thankfulness. The desire to always get new things goes away when we truly value what we already have. We are happy with the way things are right now and don't keep looking for outside sources of happiness. It cuts down on spending on whims when you feel like you don't have enough. It gives you a deep peace and joy that you don't have to get from outside sources. Being thankful makes us feel better. It tells us that our lives are already full of rich things, even if we don't have much money. It makes room for quiet happiness and deep satisfaction, taking the place of the restless need for more with a calm respect for what is. This change in perspective isn't just about feeling good. It's about building a strong inner base that helps you make smart financial choices and live a truly happy life. Nobody gets through life without problems, and money problems are often some of the most upsetting. A quick loss of a job, unplanned costs, a drop in the market, or the failure of a business can cause a lot of fear and hopelessness. It's easy to feel exhausted, to think that these problems can't be solved, and to become paralyzed or full of self-pity. When we only see problems with money as bad things, they can drain our energy, make us lose confidence, and stop us from going forward. We can't find answers or learn from our mistakes when we look at things this way. Being through it feels more like an attack than something that can help you grow. If you want to feel more empowered, think of these money problems as chances to grow. This is a big change in how I think. It means seeing problems not as obstacles but as opportunities to learn, as tests of our strength and as sources of new ideas. Question yourself, what can I learn from this situation? How can I adapt? What new skills can I develop? How can I become stronger and more resourceful because of this? This way of thinking turns fear into a force for growth. It changes us from complaining about our bad luck to actively looking for ways to fix things and making good changes. There are many examples in history of people and companies that went through terrible financial problems and came out stronger, smarter, and more successful because of the lessons they learned. If you lose your job, you might have to look for a new one that will give you more satisfaction in the long run. If the market goes down, you might learn important things about how to handle risk and diversify your investments. You might need to build up a bigger emergency fund in case of an unexpected cost. These problems make us rethink our goals, be smarter about how we spend our money, and gain useful skills that can keep these problems from happening again. Accept the lesson that every problem brings. Realize that these times are not punishments, but rather crucibles that shape our character, improve our minds, and give us a lasting sense of inner strength. When we look at problems as chances, we can turn possible losses into steps that lead to more financial safety and personal mastery. A lot of people think that making a lot of money is the only way to be financially successful. They are always trying to make more money, but they forget how to manage the money they already have, which is just as important. You can make a lot of money, but if you don't know how to handle your money and time wisely, that wealth can disappear quickly, leaving you stressed out and unstable. It's important to work hard, but it's also important to work smart. If you don't know how to budget, save, spend, and use your time well, even a high income can feel like it's not enough and you might miss out on chances to grow. It is not enough to know how much money comes in. It is also important to know how it is spent and cared for. Looking for practical wisdom means learning smart money methods and putting them into action. To do this, you need to learn basic financial concepts such as how to make a budget to keep track of your income and spending, how to save money in different ways, and how to invest your money so that it works for you. It also means using your time well, knowing that it's a limited resource that has a direct effect on your ability to make money and your general health. When you have practical knowledge, you choose where your money goes on purpose, making sure it fits with your long-term goals and values. You don't just spend it without thinking or without a plan. This never-ending search for information gives you power. It gives you the information you need to make smart choices, stay away from common money mistakes, and plan ahead for a safe future. When you do this, you stop being a passive participant in your financial life and start being an involved strategic manager of your resources. Being wise in the real world means taking care of your money and time well. People learn how to constantly save money, invest their money, and live below their means. Knowing this makes you feel much less stressed about money because you are in charge and less exposed to unplanned events. It frees up mental energy that was being used to worry, so you can focus on other important things in your life. By developing practical wisdom, you build a base for long-term financial stability, not just short-term wealth. This way, your resources will serve your well-being instead of making you anxious all the time. Anxiety about money is a common and often crippling feeling. There can be a steady hum of worry in our lives from the fear of not having enough, the stress of debt, the uncertainty of the future, or the fear of not having enough. This fear can stop people from acting, or it can make them make hasty, bad financial choices out of panic. When our sense of safety depends on outside factors like how well the market does or how stable our job is, we are open to all changes. Because we worry all the time, we lose our peace of mind and can't fully enjoy the present moment. It makes us feel weak and easily shook by things going on around us. In order to protect yourself from this fear and financial stress, you need to develop a strong mental and emotional fortress. It's about building a calm and strong center inside yourself that stays strong no matter what the financial storms are like outside. The walls of this fortress are not made of bricks and mortar, but of strong ideals, principles, and a well-trained mind. It means realizing that you can't change the things that happen around you, but you can change how you respond to them. If things are getting tough, you can choose to stay calm, think clearly, and act on your intentions. This is about learning to control your feelings and train your mind to think about the things you can change and let go of the things you can't. Without a doubt, this inner fortress gives you security. Fear and outside forces have less of an effect on you when you know your values, are clear on your financial goals, and are able to control yourself. Your choices will be based on logic instead of fear. This lets you think clearly under stress, which helps you handle tough financial problems more wisely and effectively. The outside world may be crazy. Markets will always go up and down and strange things will happen. But you can stay calm and steady inside. There is real safety and peace in this fortress, which doesn't come from not having any problems, but from being able to deal with them calmly. By consistently building up this inner strength, you give yourself the most powerful tool for long-term financial success and a life filled with real peace and meaning.